Have you ever heard of a daybook entry? It was like a thing blogs used to do way back when. Or I could do another top 5 of what's saving my life right now. But this is kind of a combination of both.
Let's keep calm and mother on. Mothering is way too important to do alone and way too serious to be serious all the time. My name is Christy Thomas, and I am here shoulder to shoulder with you, mothering and enjoying life together. This is the podcast where you can focus on being mindful and taking a deep breath with me and learning new things so you can pause and savor the amazing life you already have.
Here's the thing I'm learning about motherhood right now with teenagers and a tween almost, another tween, is that a lot of motherhood is silent, secret work when your kids get to these ages. It's no longer like super cute stories about mispronunciations, about calling the elevator an alligator and spaghetti, getty, and all those things, right? So I just want to remind you that I am a real person here sitting in my home office in front of a microphone, and there's things I can't share with you because of the ages and stages of my kids. So here's what I need you to do. There is a link in the comments here for a SpeakPipe. I really need you to send in your questions. I need you to record like a 90-second question, or you can email me so I can help you best. I'm realizing that I have a lot of ideas of where I want this podcast to go, but I want to stay true to the root. That this podcast is to reach back a couple of years to the mom I was and to the mom you probably are, and to let you know that I see you. That yes, motherhood is hard work. Being a human is hard work, and it's hard to raise humans while being a human and realizing that you're like undoing things and unlearning and relearning all the time. So today, I thought I would pull back the curtain a little bit to something that I loved it when my bloggers used to do this way back in like early 2000s, 2010s, and try it in audio form, and we can see how it hits. This is the type of thing I'm playing around with putting it into a community where we can work on our self-awareness and our self-care and breath work. So let's practice and try new things together. And remember that we're all doing hard things all the time. Just because you don't see them on social media doesn't mean someone else's life is easier than yours. It probably just means that they're carrying heavy weight and they've gotten good at it. So I want to give you that hug, and away we go. This is the daybook entry for October 10th, being recorded on October 6th. Outside my window right now is beautiful blue sky, trees that are just starting to change into the tips at the red and on the edges, and finally not rain and not freezing cold. It's about 65 degrees and it's like a crisp, amazing fall day, which is fantastic after Hurricane Ian blew through with a very cold, wet nor'easter. I am listening to my youngest take piano lessons virtually because he's tapped out from getting in the car this week. He's had a busy week with extracurriculars and needed to do the lesson over Zoom. So that's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to the boogie woogie being played on my piano and his very kind and patient teacher coaching him through counting the rhythms and the patterns. I am wearing a bright blue t-shirt that says "Love Your Neighbors" from Birchbark House in the city, running compression capris, and I've got my shoes on in the house because after this, I'm going outside for my run. I've done my bike on the Peloton, my Power Zone workout, and so I am still dressed to move. I am grateful for my new book club I've joined, my kids doing amazing after-school activities, that I've got a new cell phone number with a neighbor across the street. I'm grateful for making connections. It takes about a year to make solid connections when you move someplace. And we're on month 10, and I'm starting to feel rooted. I'm pondering about what it takes to write ebooks for Amazon. That's what I've been thinking about lately. How do you write an ebook for Kindle, and what would I want to write about? I found that I have some fringe hours, and I would like to face my fear of writing. Also been pondering this quote by Maya Angelou that says, "Your legacy is everyone you touched." I'm reading many books right now. So the books I'm reading with my 4th grade homeschooler is the book Rules, about a brother and a sister, and autism. And then the other book I'm reading with him right now, it's the Birchbark House. So there's 2 novels we're reading, along with Spirit Animals Every Time We Get in the Car as our car audiobook. I'm reading the book 40 Autumns, A Family's Tale of Courage and Survival During the Cold War and the Berlin Wall by Nina Wilner. And that's my book club book. For personal development, I'm reading Finding True Happiness by Fulton Sheen. I definitely have other books going so I can research guests for you guys and have good conversations, but we're going to keep moving. The next daybook question is, I'm thinking about sadness and anger and how the two often interlap each other. I've been thinking a lot about feelings, resilience, grit, and suicide prevention. There's a lot of conversations about that right now, about military members and military-connected family, and too many losses to count. I am creating meal plans for the whole month, and it is saving my tushy with not needing the mental space. So at the beginning of the month, I filled out a monthly calendar. I put down all the dinners on a rotation, and I love that it's on the fridge and I know exactly what to pull out in the morning and I don't have to overthink. I'm also creating a lot of smash art, I guess is what I'm calling it, where you put dots of paint all over and then you take a wedge and you just kind of smush it and see what happens. And it's beautiful and messy and it's prayer every single time. Listening to, on my Spotify playlist, a lot of KK Slider covers. I'm listening to the song Don't Give Up Too Soon by JJ Heller. I've really gotten into Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. And the other thing that we listen to a lot is 8-bit music. Yeah. So 8-bit arcade on Spotify. It is something the whole family kind of giggles over. My kids try to listen to songs by Toad. Don't do it. Just don't listen to the Toad covers. I only say that because it feels like my ears are going to bleed every single time. Towards education, our family is really leaning into learning chess together. My husband found a great YouTube channel, Gotham Chess, and we've really enjoyed challenging each other with chess. I've never played, so I am like at the level of how do you move these pieces? And I was really inspired by the Bluey episode called Chess. If you want to go watch it, it's in season 3 of Bluey. Towards rhythm and beauty, well, I am working towards every day checking off a checklist that I called the cup full checklist. And that sounds so structured, and it is. It has meditation on it, body weight workouts, running and biking on it. It has art, prayer, rest time, reading a book for fun on it, my fiction book. So I have to have a checklist of moving towards rhythm and beauty, because those natural structures of routine are only natural to me when I've repeated them about 1,000 times. To live the liturgy is the next question, and I have a kid who's working on confirmation this year. And so we're spending time talking about saints and the Holy Spirit and what that looks like in the real world. Next one is I am hoping and praying. I am hoping and praying that I get to see fall leaves and that Halloween Day is perfect, like not snowing or raining. I am looking forward to sitting at the end of my driveway and passing out candy and getting to know more of my neighbors. I typically, that's what I want to say. I'm hoping and praying for amazing fall weather because it's such a delight after not having fall while we lived in Georgia. In the garden, I have a lot of weeds. And in fact, my confirmation student needs to. My kiddo has to do some community service. And some of our community service this weekend together talking is going to be cutting up logs that have fallen off branches, big giant branches that have fallen down in the last couple of days with the storms, and bagging them up and weeding. Around the house, you will notice that every day when I get up, I come downstairs and I do morning prayer. I do the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, and then I do a meditation for 5 minutes. And then I always unload the dishwasher, and then I rush down to the basement and start one load of laundry. Those little things keep my around the house calm, even though I feel like the afternoons are full of errands and driving and come get me and bring me here. And it's nonstop once it's like 2:30 in the afternoon until 8:30 p.m. And I am forever grateful that I have the opportunity to be the one to drive all these kids around and pick them up and drop them off and welcome them into my house for breaks and lightness and laughter. From the kitchen, I will share in the show notes our favorite baked taco recipe that is a hit right now. We are doing Taco Tuesday, a meatball recipe that I make 6 pounds of ground beef meatballs at a time with mozzarella stuck inside. So look in the show notes for the recipes that are getting used all the time at my house, because that's what's allowing me to have so much freedom to help my kids do these amazing things in the afternoons. One of my favorite things is when friends text me photos of sunsets, flowers, insects, or books. And I've gotten a lot of that this week, along with random phone calls, just to have phone call conversations. It's been delightful. So I love it when you share with me that you're taking care of yourself and that you've thought of me in that moment. I hope you find at least 30 seconds every day to pause and breathe and slow down for yourself. My plans for the rest of the week are to enjoy the long weekend because my kids have Monday off of school, practice more chess, let my son teach me more piano, paint my nails, probably try some new soup recipes. I'm always on the hunt for gluten-free soup. You guys helped me a lot by giving them on Facebook to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just want to sit outside and soak up the magic of this weather. This weather is my favorite weather of all. And I'm thankful to live in a place that has falls that feel like fall and leaves that change colors. Oh, and I have at least 2 podcast interviews I cannot wait to do with 2 amazing women who share different tough seasons in their life and why they think it's important to share those. There we go. That is an old school blog daybook. I wonder if it transfers well to audio podcast form. Please look in the show notes for all the notes. Here is your self-care activity for today. I want you to lay down on the ground for 1 minute. I know that I asked you to breathe for 30 seconds. In the last couple of weeks, I've asked you to do breathe with me. It's self-care at the end because I'm noticing that a lot of people are feeling burnt out. A lot of us are back to pre-pandemic lifestyle and realizing that we don't have all the invisible scaffolding we need to feel supported to maintain that pace. Life has shifted. Life has changed. outside, but also our interior life and what we know we can handle. That great reset had a big impact on us. Okay. So give yourself the gift of just being flat for a minute or 2 or 3. For family fun, also a slow activity. When you notice there are beautiful clouds outside, gather your people, pop some popcorn, grab a snack, fill a bowl, right? And sit outside and look for shapes in the clouds. When was the last time you did that? There are some great Instagram accounts that take these cloud pictures and then doodle on top of them and post them on Instagram. I think it's called like the Daily Cloud. I love it. But also, it's good to just be out in the grass, eating a snack, looking at the sky with your kids. Let's not forget the simple pleasures like that. I am so glad you're here. I hope you have an amazing day. And let me know what you think. Leave your show notes. I read the show notes. I read the ratings and review every time I go to record. And I would love to see some new ratings and reviews for October because this is my birthday month. So if you're not sure how to best support the podcast, you can email me a rating and review. I love words of affirmation. Or you can leave them wherever you listen to podcasts. A lot of people use Apple Podcasts for that. Okay, thank you. And go have a good enough day.